Hey plant foldies, this is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we will be going to a big box plant shopping tour at the Lowe's off of Preston Road in Frisco, Texas. I am just thankful that you guys have tuned into the premieres. Please make sure you guys are following me on Instagram at Grow Folds. I am just really interested to see if there is another restock right here. So Texas just had some really cold weather. Yesterday was about 12 degrees and we ended up getting some snow overnight, but I am just getting off of work and I'm thankful that most of the snow has melted away. So I'm able to get away and see if we have any Lowe's restock. So this particular Lowe's typically ends up having a lot of like restocks. I visited this Lowe's a couple of times already and have shown some videos, but we will see even after a winter storm if there are some restocks right over here. And as you can see on the very left, I think that there is a pallet of Costa Farms, but we're going to take a look at it. So I'm going to spend some time showing you guys some videos, see what type of plants we have over here. Really appreciate every plant foldy that has hopped on, and yes, here it is. So I always end up getting lucky finding these pallets of Costa Farm plants. I wish I could just like take a box cutter, open up these boxes and unbox these plants. I'm just going to pan over here to show you guys the different types of plants. So this is a Pachira aquatica, so it looks like they have some money trees. These are some exotic angels. It looks like we have some crotons right over here. I just wish they would go ahead and unbox these plants. These plants are being held hostage and we needed to release them so they can find good homes. I know you guys want to go see these plants, so I definitely will be coming back to this Lowe's location tomorrow. I am off typically on Tuesday, so I'm able to go make some more big box plant shopping videos. Really appreciate everybody that continues to tune in. I know I've got some Canadian viewers, viewers all over the country, and I'm really shocked that you guys have found some interest in these big box shopping videos. I will be giving you guys some different content, but for now, let's take a look at what type of plants this Lowe's has. As you can see, they've got a lot of overstock plants, and oh my goodness, here is an aglaonema that I've been looking for a while. It looks like it's just a typical green aglaonema, but this is an aglaonema white margin. So what makes this aglaonema special is, first of all, the price is really good. $29.98 by Costa Farms. Way to go, Costa Farms. But look at how white the stems are, and then the white outlining of margin on the leaves right here. This is a really nice looking aglaonema, one that I've been in search for a while. So I'm glad that I saw this. We're definitely going to be inspecting the other white margin aglaonema to see which is the best specimen. So when you're looking for plants, you want to see if there's new growth points, pest free, and lots of just it being bushy and not so leggy, especially with aglaonema. So we'll take a look at that. And it looks like they have an aglaonema Golden Bay right over here. Thank you to the viewer subscriber who gave me the plant ID for it. But yes, we are definitely going to be looking at these aglaonema right over here. This white margin is amazing. Very excited to have that. And then Costa Farms, the fact that they have this full palette ready to go is really exciting. There was another Lowe's right off of Custer at 121 in McKinney that I saw yesterday and I featured in a live premiere. Sorry if my live premieres have just been a little bit later than 7. I've just been balancing work and I just haven't had a chance to really edit videos to where I could just set them on a schedule. But we did pass by a bunch of Majesty palms right here. Absolutely gorgeous. Every big box store has some Majesty palms, but as you can see, we have some more larger plants here. It looks like these are the loose plants in a pallet. So those are some birds of paradise. I can recognize that. And here is another pallet brought to you by Costa Farms. I want to be nosy and see what's in here. Trying to see, it looks like it's just a bunch of yuccas, but nonetheless, that's really awesome that they have these large plants. It's very interesting to see that these plants are in pallets and how they get delivered at big box stores. That's another experience I want to try to get, is just to see how the workers get these plants on the shelves for us to purchase and what type of plants we get off of these pallets. I mean, these pallets of plants are coming from Florida. I mean, all of this is from Florida. Florida, and I think that's really interesting. We do have some clearance planters here, so that's another type of content I want to get, is plant styling. And this one right here is a planter I thought was really interesting. I might end up buying it just because it has ginkgo leaves. That's a really unique looking planter for $23.98. I may end up getting it, especially since it's on clearance. So one thing I want you guys to know about me is, as much as I love aroids, house plants, indoor plants, my first love is bonsai and Japanese maples alongside with ginkgo trees. So when spring comes around and my trees wake up, I will do a yard tour about what my Japanese maple collection looks like. And speaking of bonsai, we have an interesting looking ficus ginseng bonsai right over here for about $30. I like these bonsai, but I don't like the pot. I think, you know, bonsai pots need to be a little bit more shallow and simple. So what I would do is I would definitely purchase one of these bonsai, and I would repot it in some like nice akadama soil and have a better specimen to look at. Here is a large leaf Photonia pink wave. I haven't really seen large leaf type Photonias until this year, or until I started like plant blogging, and this is so awesome because the leaves are so large, and look at that nice pink veining. It does require just lower light conditions. They're better for terrariums because I think Photonias require their soil to be a little bit more moist and more humidity. And here we have another Costa Farms hanging basket. This one is really interesting just because, one, I don't really know the plant ID for it. It looks like some creeping, some kind of creeping plant. And then we have another type of cactus right here. This is the mistletoe, trailing mistletoe cactus. So it reminds me of like a Hoya linearis with just the way it looks. But that is an interesting looking plant. It's very delicate looking, I would say. And this is for $16.98. These smaller hanging baskets by Costa Farms are $16.98. And I would say, of all of the hanging baskets, Costa Farms produces the best just because they have a wide range of species of plants that they put in hanging baskets, but also they are very cost effective. Like for $16.98, that is not bad for this type of plant. Like, we're going to double check to see what that looks like. Right over here, very nice looking plant indeed. And it is for, let's just make sure if the price is correct or if I'm stating it right. Yep, $16.98 for this hanging basket right over here. I absolutely love hanging baskets. I just don't have a lot there. And then we're going to look at this Hustler or Royal Hustler Ivy Hydra Helix, guys. You already know I love me some Hydra Helix, or I am very sarcastic when it comes to me talking about Hydra Helix, just because look at how beautiful this plant is. Give it about 2 weeks and it's going to be infested with spider mites, or at least that's the experience I've had. I probably sound just very bitter because I can't grow Hydra Helix. And here is a peace lily, or a traditional spathiphyllum right here. This is another plant that just requires lower light conditions for it to grow. Will it thrive? No, but it actually can survive and do okay in lower light conditions. So if you don't have a lot of light, spathiphyllums is an easy plant. They're just dramatic. If you don't water them, their leaves will like fall and it looks like they're dying. This is a traditional Epipremnum aureum golden pothos, and all of these plants that I'm grabbing right now are $7.98. These are the exotic angel Costa Farms line. I really like that Costa Farms can produce so many plants. Like, have you guys ever wondered what their operation looks like in terms of being able to produce plants like this? This is $7.98. This is for another croton right over here. It's called Sunny Star Croton. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the bright yellow leaves that it has. And the only thing about crotons that I'm a little bit weary about is it does require a lot of bright indirect light. I do have 2 crotons in my collection right now. One I imported from Indonesia that's kind of dropped a lot of its leaves, but I feel like it's just because of the stress and acclimation. But here is another Royal Hustler Ivy. So you know how you saw the other Royal Hustler Ivy, or the Hydra Helix? That one has a different type of leaf shape, so I don't know if it's just a mismatch of like plant ID. Then this one is a Superba Fittonia. So this is another large leaf type Fittonia. We're seeing a lot more large leaf type Fittonias. This one is for $7.98, and look at how absolutely stunning the white veining is of this leaves. And then you can see in the background that palette of Costa Farms plants. Like, I really want to know if they have something like cool, like a philodendron tortum, that other aglaonema that I haven't seen that's like green and green variegation. But to go back to this Fittonia, that's a really nice looking Fittonia for sure. Plant foldies, let me know what you think of so far of the smaller plants that I'm featuring, like this Syngonium Berry Illusion for $5.98. I know that a couple of subscribers and plant foldies have asked me to show smaller plants just because I typically focus on the larger plants. So here you guys go. Syngoniums is an easy care species to grow. The only thing is they are susceptible to spider mites and mealybugs, more likely mealybugs, but spider mites is a thing as well. They are my first love, and they're still my favorite genus of plants just because they're fast growing, they're easy to care for, and you can propagate them fairly easily. This is another Fittonia here. This is a smaller, more traditional type looking Fittonia. This is a Fittonia Pink Angel from the Exotic Angels line by Costa Farms. $5.98 for this beautiful looking plant. I'm thinking of like growing more Fittonia, but the thing about growing Fittonia is it's just, you know, you start with one species and then you want to grow it all. It's like some people only want to grow Monstera, so they try their very best to get every single Monstera. Like, I'm in a situation right now where I'm trying to buy every single Syngonium and aglaonema, and I'm running out of space. But look at this beautiful Croton right over here. This is the Croton Gold Dust for $5.98. Beautiful. Like, it looks like somebody just splattered a bunch of yellow paint on the leaves. Absolutely stunning. And the thing about crotons is the more light you give it, apparently the variegation becomes more pronounced. I ended up getting a really nice gold dust croton at Callaway's, which is a local DFW nursery, for 50% off. So I got it for $8, and it's a much larger plant. We have some more Fittonia right here. Here is another large leaf Fittonia. So this is the pink variety of the Superbia Fittonia. This one is called Juanita Fittonia by Costa Farms. This is another one for $5.98. Not a bad looking one. And I'm going to take this one right over here. This one's the $7.98, the Superbia Fittonia. So you notice how large the leaves are. I just really love the veining of it. And then we have the traditional Fittonia. This one is for the Pink Angel. So there's some other varieties like the Red Ann Fittonia and some other ones by Costa Farms. But I really like the fact that these are in wick planters. So basically you can put it in like a self-watering planter with like a water reservoir and let the wick touch it, and it's self-watering, so you don't have to water or necessarily worry about watering the top of the plant. So I like the fact that Costa Farms is experimenting with different types of planters. I just commend them for being able to provide so many different types of plants. You know, the plant community is a large one all over the world, and the fact that Costa Farms is one of the leading plant producers is amazing. Like, for instance, here is a dark mystery Pilea. We have some more Syngonium right over here. Pileas are really nice, especially that dark mystery Pilea. I love that gunmetal silver color. It's really nice. And then we have some more berry illusion Syngonium. So like Syngoniums are considered very common type, and they're very underrated plants too. Like, a lot of people are still into the philodendrons, the monsteras, but like Syngoniums and aglaonema are very underrated plants. Here we have a spider plant right over here for $16.98. This is really nice looking spider plant, hanging basket by Costa Farms. I haven't had the best luck growing spider plants just because for some reason, maybe it's the water I'm giving it, but the leaves tend to end up crisping and getting brown. I don't know why. But we're going to go ahead and explore other areas of this Lowe's just to show you. So we have this palette right over here. And I really hope you guys are enjoying the big box plant store shopping trips that I take. I really do attempt to try to get you guys daily content, at least 1 to 2 videos a day. And you notice how like there was this like winter blast frost, and this Lowe's cared enough to bring their indoor plants in. So that's awesome. And as you can see, we always have to feature our favorite plant of the day, and that is the Hydra helix. I'm just kidding, guys. Like, please don't take me seriously when I say snarky or just like sarcastic comments about Hydra helix. Honestly, I think English ivy and Hydra helix are the most beautiful plants, or one of them, just because look at the leaf shape. I love that it has that maple leaf shape look, and then just they come in so many different variegations and varieties. It's amazing. It's just really sad that this plant is particularly susceptible to pests, particularly spider mites. So like most people will not add a Hydra helix indoors just because they don't want to invite spider mites into their collection. Like if you notice, there were a couple of yellowing leaves right there, so it makes me wonder if there are spider mites. But that one I think is the Hydra helix wonderful ivy by Costa Farms. And then we have a common but beautiful Philodendron cordatum. I like the green jade looking leaves. The color of it is really nice. And this one is a hanging basket for $16.98. Absolutely stunning. I would definitely want to add some hanging baskets to my collection. I have 3. I bought these Hoyas from Walmart, and I ended up buying like these command hook type strips off of Amazon. So we'll see if I'll be able to hang some of these baskets. We have another one. This one is labeled as Philodendron Brazil, but this looks more like a Philodendron cordatum just because there's not really a lot of variegation on this. Nonetheless, it's a beautiful plant. Like, I don't see why people sleep on really just green plants with no variegation. I think greenery is a nice color, and just greenery in general just makes a space look very fresh and free. And look at this. This is like the mom and daughter type like hanging basket right over here. This one is very established, and that's the reason why I always say Costa Farms has some really good hanging baskets. They have variety, they have healthy plants, and they are very cost effective, because this bigger one is for $19.98, and you can honestly get the trailing parts of the plant and propagate more plants from it. We have some strawberry begonias sitting up there. Those are really cute as well. I love the fuzzy leaves, but I want to focus on this again. This cordatum is really awesome. Let me know if you guys grow that Philodendron cordatum in your collection in the comments. And although this is a plant that is really meant for outdoors, this is by Monrova, but look at how beautiful the yellow splashes of color and variegation is on this particular bush. It reminds me of a croton actually, and I really like the look of it. But I was just walking by and I didn't notice, guys. I'm about to run over there, or like brisk walk over there. But this Lowe's has so many plants and so much like plant overflow that they've had to create another section at the entrance. So I'm surprised that I ended up missing this front part right here. And these are all of the Costa Farms plants that we have. Like, look at this. This is a good 20 feet or more of plants. Like, those are obviously trending tropical plants right over there. But we're gonna go ahead and look at the merchandising of this particular Lowe's. So like, we talk about like different big box stores and how they merchandise their plants. Notice how they have the plants all aligned by different species in one section, but also the species, the same species in the same row. So like we have calatheas, we've got aglaonemas, we've got sansevierias, we've got dracaenas, palms. Very nice looking plants, and they all look very healthy. I'm going to assume that these plants just literally got off of a pallet and out of their boxes, and they just got merchandised within a day or two. So I am excited. This is one Lowe's I would recommend. This is the Lowe's in Frisco, Texas, off of Preston Road, right next to the 99 Ranch. Like, look at this. We have a bunch of Alocasia Silver Dragon. We have some Scindapsus Truberii Moonlight. And we have some more of this particular plant right here. I can't pronounce the name. Some more Calathea dotty. We're just going to walk around here. And what I find interesting is how does like Costa Farms produce so many plants the same size, same health quality and variety, and be able to pretty much provide for the whole United States big box plant industry. That to me is insane. And their plants are very cost effective. Like, how big are their nurseries in Florida? Like, I would love to be able to have the opportunity to like view and maybe even film Costa Farms nurseries someday. Who knows? So if anybody who knows Costa Farms, I am totally down for it. I would fly out to Florida in a heartbeat just to see that. But we can see right over here, this is the first plant, and these are all wick and grow self-watering planters. This is by Costa Farms. This is for $15.98, and this is a Calathea medallion, absolutely beautiful. I love the foliage. Yeah, the Wick and Grow series. So the only thing I would say as far as a critique is I wish Costa Farms wouldn't have the texture of these planters, these plastic planters. I honestly wish they would have just made it a plain, like modern, simple planter with no texture on it, just literally a smooth surface that was matte. That would actually work for my plant aesthetic. I mean, everybody's plant aesthetics are different, but planters are a big deal for me. It's not just about collecting the plants, but also how does the planter complement the actual plant being displayed in it. So like this is a beautiful Aglaonema right here. This is a common Aglaonema, and this is called Aglaonema Maria. I love the vibrant green colors it has, and also the variegation it has as well. It looks almost like camouflage. And this is also for $15.98. Absolutely stunning plant, very healthy looking plant. I would definitely recommend an Aglaonema Maria for anybody's plant collection. We have a Sansevieria right over here, but you can see the Aglaonema Red Siam, Aglaonema Maria, and then we have this Sansevieria right here. Nice looking Sansevieria. Honestly, they're not as easy care as most people think, just because they end up getting root rot or dry rot. So I don't know. Let me know if you guys like Sansevierias. I do to a certain extent, but I like the starfish one, the thicker Sansevieria. This one is a beautiful Dracaena white aspen. So this is my favorite type of Dracaena, and I definitely am going to add this to my collection. Dracaenas are amazing just because they're easy care. They don't require a lot of water, or they actually can tolerate being underwatered. They come in a variety of different colors. Their growth patterns are different. They grow fairly fast, or moderate growers, and they can tolerate lower light conditions. So I wouldn't say they would thrive in lower light, but they can tolerate it to where you can get away with them being a little bit further away from the window or in an area of your house that doesn't get a lot of light. They will still grow and not like diminish in health. Now we have some ponytail palms right over here. I love ponytail palms. They're really cute. And this one is Plants of Steel. So that's another line that Costa Farms has. This is for $15.98. Love the delicate leaves it has and all of the different growth points. Really, really cute. I just don't have palms just because I feel like they would be spider mite prone, and they also require a lot of like bright light that I don't necessarily have in my home. We have an Aglaonema Silver Bay. It had some blooms. I will tell anybody who's growing Aglaonema, be sure to cut the flowers just because it drains away the plant's energy to produce the beautiful foliage that it's being grown for. Now here is a Dieffenbachia that I saw yesterday at another Lowe's, and it looks like Costa Farms is pushing this Dieffenbachia right over here. I would love to get the plant ID for this Dieffenbachia. This is for $22.98. Not bad at all for a 2.5 gallon potted up Dieffenbachia. And then we have another Dracaena right here in the cane form. Really nice looking. And then we have some Dracaena marginata. I prefer the Dracaena marginata with the pink and cream variegation versus the green. That's just my preference. And we have a bunch of large Majesty palm. Look at how large these are. And guess how much they cost? $22.98 for such a large and tall established plant. And now we're going to look at this. Now this is what I find interesting. Costa Farms is doing a lot with their planters. Look at how beautiful this planter is. $15.98. This is the first time I've seen Costa Farms produce a matte planter to display this like Aglaonema Red Siam or Aglaonema Siam Aurora. They have been, like Costa Farms has been changing up their planters. I know at Walmart they have trending tropicals but in self-watering planters, and now they have these planters where they're ceramic but matte, and that navy blue color is really classy looking. Like look at that, that is beautiful. I don't mind the texture as much. Typically I would just want like a plain surface, but the matte ceramics on it is really giving me that modern vibe, and like the texture of like having almost like a beehive honeycomb. It works for me. I would totally buy like say this Calathea medallion and not have to repot it. Like I would totally keep it in its catch pot because I like what the planters are. So that's something I would definitely do content for is just plant styling, and the particulars about planters, how you would style that. So if you guys like that type of that type of content, please let me know, because I want to produce that. Like, look at this. This is beautiful. I love the matte gray of this ponytail palm, and the planter is just really complementing it. Neutral colors for planters work best for me, just because it doesn't take away from the actual plant foliage. But that is a really nice, so kudos to Costa Farms. That was a really nice change. And then obviously this is a traditional trending tropicals plant in its ceramic. See, I don't like the ceramic glaze. It's too shiny. I would have rather had a matte finish, but this is such a healthy and lush looking plant. I cannot pronounce the name well, so I will just put it in the plant ID. But what I really like is the variegation, and it reminds me of like a caladium, almost a caladium slash alocasia. Have you guys looked at this calathea right here? This calathea is freaking amazing. Like, I love that it doesn't have purple undersides like a typical calathea. It has these neon undersides, and just the striping of the foliage is amazing. I just wish calathea weren't necessarily fussy plants. Like, literally they have to be watered at a certain time. They have to have high humidity. Their water quality has to actually be great, because if you water some calathea with like just tap water, they start to brown because of the hard water. But this is absolutely stunning. I don't know the plant ID of this calathea, so if you know in the comments, please leave that in the comments. Or if you're watching this live in the live premieres, please let me know as well. I feel like this one is going to be a late premiere today if I decide to actually premiere it, just because it is a little bit of a longer video, and I want to make sure that I get the editing correct for y'all as I do this voiceover. Now here is a beautiful Scindapsus Trubii Moonlight. It's another trending tropicals for $19.98. Do you guys remember when like Scindapsus Trubii Moonlight was like really expensive for like a 2-leaf 1-node cutting? Now you can buy them at big box stores. I like it just because the foliage is a nice like marine silvery tone to it. The only drawback about this Scindapsus and Scindapsus in general is that they're a little bit slower growing as compared to an Epipremnum aureum or pinnatum. Now we have this beautiful Alocasia Silver Dragon. I'm so glad that we're seeing a lot of Alocasia Silver Dragon. Here, look at the underside of the leaves. So I talked about giving my plant foldies or my viewers content that has a different vibe or look about the videos, and that goes with even the cinematography, the background music I use. I love showing plants from the underside as well, so you can really appreciate it. And look at how beautiful this is. It looks like somebody took some like gray spray paint and spray painted the veins on it. Absolutely stunning. And I love touching the leaves because they feel very thick and leathery. I'm just shocked that, you know, this alocasia is also still susceptible to spider mites, despite the fact that its foliage is very thick. So Costa Farms is doing amazing having these types of plants available. So don't sleep on alocasia. I'm just very excited to see what 2024's spring, summer plant restock will be. And then you can see right over here this Calathea dotty by Costa Farms Trading Tropicals. This is for $19.98. I love the undersides of the leaves though. It is purple. Everything about it is a dark purple with some lavender striping right over here. And look at that growth point. The growth point has like a yellow tint about it. If I were to get this Calathea dotty, I would repot it though and put it in like a matte yellow, like pale yellow planter, just because I feel like purple and yellow are on opposite sides of the color wheel spectrum, so they're complementary colors and they would really just make each other pop out even more. So colors are another thing in terms of like what plants I like to put in my plant collection, just because I want them to be able to live symbiotically with my furniture and just the things I have in my household. So like be on the lookout for a household plant tour. I just need to make sure that my plants and my house is together for YouTube, because apparently I'm getting a lot of views from you guys and I'm so thankful for that. Never thought that I would get 1,000 views over some big box plant video shopping. tours. It's literally just me talking and rambling about plants for about 30 minutes. But hey, if you guys like that, I will continue to do this daily, twice a day, if I can manage to balance my work. But yes, this right over here is just the overflow of plants. And you can see that we just went through like a winter storm. There's a bunch of space heaters right over here. We're getting out of the holidays, so we have a bunch of storage bins. But what I like to go to is obviously just admiring all the plants at a big box store. Like, I know some people have asked me to add more succulents. Unfortunately, I'm not as versed on succulents. I will say I prefer highly variegated succulents. They tickle my fancy for sure, but I really can't tell you like the names. And then we're gonna look at the section where it's like the rescue plants or the clearance plants. This section actually doesn't look too bad today. They look like they have like a good selection. We have this Ficus lyrata or fiddle leaf fig right over here. That's not a bad looking specimen. It doesn't look like it's dying. And I think if somebody bought it within a day or two and sprayed it with like insecticidal soap and really just try to rehab it, it will be a good one. This is a really nice aglaonema right here. I mean, if I were to buy this for clearance, I think it'd be like about $8 to $9. Not bad at all. I just wish that Costa Farms would give their aglaonemas plant IDs. Like, I really want to know what this particular aglaonema is. So if you know the aglaonema plant ID, please leave that in the comments. I would really appreciate it. The other aglaonema right next to it is the aglaonema frosted ghost, and that came from a viewer, a plant foldy, that commented. So thank you for that. And then we're going to be taking a look at these massive majesty palms. Like, I don't know what it is about majesty palms, but they're always at big box stores. And we're going to look at that Dieffenbachia. And obviously we want to look at this awesome aglaonema. This is an aglaonema mystic silver, I believe. Look at how thick and just healthy this aglaonema looks. I love the silvery tone of the leaves, and it just has a nice full pot of them. So like, I would totally buy that, but that's already in my plant collection. And obviously we have the Siam Auroras or red Siam aglaonema right over here. This Lowe's looks like it's ready to re-merchandise its plants. They cleared out a whole section right there. And in this whole section right here is a line of Calathea dotty. I don't know how Costa Farms is able to produce so many plants. Like, is it tissue culture? Do they just have a bunch of propagations that they've been growing for years and they just release it and release it? I don't know, but like the amount of aglaonema that Costa Farms produces, I mean, aglaonema are slow growing, but they have very nice sized aglaonemas. Now here we are looking at a birds of paradise. Nice looking plant right here, and for that large tall bird of paradise, $35.98 is not bad. And then this was the Dracaena marginata I was talking about. I prefer this one just because I like how the pink and creams glow with, you know, great lighting. Like, for instance, this late afternoon sunlight is doing wonders for that Dracaena. And then we obviously have some bromeliads. I'm looking at that palette again. Like, I just can't believe I walked into a palette. So this is another Lowe's I will be visiting tomorrow or the next day just to see what kind of plants they have. I'm really excited to see what type of plants come out for these restocks. If you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth market, I will say that we are very lucky based on what the subscribers have told us that our plants are being restocked very quickly with a lot of unique ones. Like this one is a nice Calathea lancifolia. And then I always rant about why I think Lowe's has the best orchids, and the reason why is they have different types of orchids. They have Phalaenopsis, they have Vanda, and they have this type of orchid that I can't pronounce the scientific name. But look at this, these are beautiful orchids. I don't know how Lowe's is able to, I guess, source all these different orchids. Even with plant nurseries, they don't have the same type of variety of orchids. And on top of that, Lowe's has very cost-effective orchids. It's not going to break your bank to get like a nice Vanda orchid or something. Now we're going to be looking at urban jungle. So here is some more like hanging basket, but urban jungle. I will say urban jungle has some nice looking plants. Like, look at this philodendron moonlight. I love neon yellow looking plants. I will always gravitate to that. And then the price is right here for $22.98. Not a bad looking plant. I think what makes these plants a little bit more pricey is because of the terracotta pots that they have. I'm not really a fan of the terracotta pots. Like, I wish they would just be simple terracotta pots without like any designs, but that's just me. I'm a more of a minimalistic when it comes to planters. That Dracaena though is giving me all sorts of life. And then this one right here is a variegated Peperomia ortusifolia. Very nice. And look at that. This is for $13.96, and the little legs on the planter are so cute. And then right over here we have a Schefflera moonshine or a moondrop. It has some subtle variegation, but nonetheless it's a really nice one. It has smaller foliage for sure. And then we have an Epipremnum aureum, golden pothos right over here in a hanging basket by Urban Jungle. We have some more philodendron moonlight, some ferns. We have another staghorn fern in a hanging basket. And we have one of my favorite plants that I still have yet to own. This is a philodendron cordatum, lemon lime. And then when you place them next to the other neon looking plants, that's just awesome. You take all three of these and put them in a dark corner of your house, and it will just brighten up that space. Love it. And what's interesting is all three of those plants I just showed can tolerate lower light conditions. This is an interesting croton that I don't have the plant ID, but notice the croton's like leaf shape. It almost reminds me of a philodendron bitophyllum. That just looks really nice right here, or like a golden fiddle philodendron. Just the leaf shape is really nice. And then we have a bunch of exotic angels hanging basket. These are all $16.98 by Costa Farm. So we have some large leaf Fittonia, we have some sort of cactus, we have some Syngonium white butterflies, we have this teddy bear vine that I've been seeing that I have been mistaken as like a Tradescanthia when it's really not. But this hanging basket right here is for $16.98. I love the texture of the leaves, very fuzzy, and you know, it's just like a teddy bear. And then right over here we have an interesting looking fern that has like Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu blue looking, like silver blue looking color leaves. Nice fern. I just am a little bit weary about growing ferns just because I feel like they require a lot more humidity, and like their watering needs to be a little bit more. I don't like plants that I have to water often just because I'm afraid of like fungus gnats. I had a really bad fungus gnat infestation about 3 years ago. Actually just a pest infestation that literally wiped out my whole like plant collection. But as you can see, here is another palette of live plants by Costa Farms. This is wick and grow plants inside. So there's going to be a variety of different types of wick and grow plants. I really am interested to see if they have any really cool like trending tropicals. I'm literally looking for a philodendron tortum that I've seen people post that they found at Walmart. I am looking for a particular aglonema that starts with an S that has like green and green variegation that Costa Farms also releases. But we'll go ahead and pan out to some more of these orchids. So these ones are Vanda orchids, and I love how the sunlight is hitting these Vanda orchids. Look at the aerial roots. I think that that's what makes Vanda orchids interesting, is they literally are epiphytes, so they just grow on trees or something. They just latch onto something. They don't need, this one doesn't need to be in soil. It'll actually kill the roots. They're aerial roots. And the way you would take care of a Vanda orchid is you would let the roots just dry out completely, and you can tell because they're pretty much like white, but when you spray it with water, like a water bottle, they'll turn green, and that's how you feed and water a Vanda orchid. You don't want to overwater their roots, otherwise they will rot. But look at how beautiful that purple Vanda orchid looks like. It reminds me of a Vanda orchid called Waling Waling from the Philippines. Since I'm from the Philippines, that's something that I always am reminded of when I look at like a Vanda orchid with that purple. But look at all of these Phalaenopsis orchids. They come in so many varieties. I love the different colors. The yellow and purple next to each other really complement each other. Really like that. But with the light hitting these orchids, they are glowing and they're giving me so many beautiful vibes. These like jungle vibes. I love the floral look about it. Look at that. Look at how the light is hitting these orchids. Let me know in the comments or the live chat if you agree with me. I just love looking at these, and I might just do a whole episode of just orchids at Lowe's or just orchids at different big box stores. Like, look at this one right over here. Look at that subtle pink right there. And then we have some more Phalaenopsis orchids right over here. They're beautiful, beautiful orchids. I'm also convinced about trying to add orchids to my collection. And if I am, I'm going to get it at Lowe's. Like, this is a real Kokedama orchid right over here. It's just in a moss bowl, and I think it's really nice. I think it's for $22.98. So Lowe's has some really nice looking plants. I would say out of all the big box stores, Lowe's probably has the most variety when it comes to their indoor tropical plants. Home Depot does too, if Home Depot really, I guess, diversifies their proven winner selections. And then right over here we have Epipremnum pinnatum Baltic blue. We have some more Calathea dotties right over here, trending tropicals for $19.97. We have in Adansonia, Monstera Adansonia for $19.97, trending tropicals. And then we have some more Scindapsus trubii Moonlight. That's really awesome as well. Love that. These are all for $19.97 by Costa Farms. So super excited to see what type of plants Costa Farms releases. I love their plants. I'm thankful that they were able to see some of my big box store plant videos. Costa Farms actually commented on my YouTube video, so that's really cool. So Costa Farms, if anybody's listening, please consider making some more like very minimalistic modern planters. I would absolutely love it. I did take down an urban jungle hanging basket. That is a beautiful Epipremnum aureum marble queen. And can you just see, I'm panning that over there. That box needs to be broken down, and all of those plant hostages need to be released to the wild so we can all look and bask in the beauty of these plants. What else do we have here? I mean, as you guys can see, I'm walking through a nice jungle in Frisco, Texas. Look at these majesty palms. The light is hitting these leaves at the right time. It's just beautiful. That golden glow of this. Look at this. This is a Hydra Helix. Like I said, Hydra Helix, I might end up doing a Hydra Helix challenge. We'll see if I get spider mites. I will definitely document that video and do it for an entire month, and we'll see what that result looks like. But we have just a lot of hanging baskets from Costa Farms. Like, this one is an interesting one. This one is called the Polynesian Ivy. So obviously it's not a Hydra Helix. It reminds me more of like a Tradescantia / begonia hybrid / like Monstera Peru, just because of the veining of the leaves. But this one looks like it would be an easy plant to propagate. Like, I feel like if you just snapped a piece of it and put it in water, you'll see water roots like a Tradescantia. That one is for $19.98. And then we just have a bunch of exotic angel plants. I'm going to look at this hanging basket by Urban Jungle. So Urban Jungle has some nice terracotta or just planters in hanging baskets. And then like this one is another Philodendron cordatum lemon lime. I need to find a hanging basket by Costa Farms. I've seen them around, and they have the best, most full hanging baskets. So we'll see. And obviously we have some more plants right here. This is really good. Actually, Costa Farms did well by giving this Dieffenbachia a name. This is the Dieffenbachia Camille, so that's really cool for $7.98. And then who could forget looking at a purple waffle plant? I ended up getting the Snow White waffle plant just because I like the pink and purple and cream variegation, but I am eventually going to get me a purple waffle plant, but not for that size. I want the $5.98 one so I can just grow it up a little bit more. And we have some more smaller exotic angel plants here. I know that I've had some subscribers ask me to feature the smaller plants. So like right here, we have a pia tree or a variegated Fatschedera. What I like about this is it reminds me of an ivy, because the ivy reminds me of a maple, and maple trees, especially Japanese maple, are my favorite trees. So I've always wanted to grow maples indoors. Unfortunately, you can't. But if I end up getting a variegated Fatschedera, it looks like I could have like a similar looking look in terms of a maple. Now we have this interesting plant right over here. I didn't realize this was like another type of Polea. Very nice looking plant. I love the texture of the leaves. And then we're going to be looking at this beautiful Rex begonia. There's not a specific cultivar ID for it, but look at how beautiful this Rex begonia is. The leaves are amazing. I would say the best begonias in the area would come from Steve Leaves. It's a local plant nursery in Louisville, Texas, which I don't live too far from, and they ship nationwide. So I love Steve Leaves as well. Their begonias are amazing. And then now we're looking at this Aurelia with the nice like green on green variegation. I've stated this before, I love green on green variegation, probably more so than like even albo variegation on plants. But yes, we have a variety of exotic angels here. This Lowe's is very stocked. I mean, it's overstocked actually, because they have even 2 more pallets to unload, plus those big pallets of large plants. This is an interesting hanging basket as well. And that's the thing about Costa Farms. Would you agree that Costa Farms has probably the most diverse plants that they offer for big box stores for just common house plants? Like this one is called a flame violet. Very nice looking plant right here. It reminds me of that Polynesian ivy. So that's really cool. And then there's another like type of hanging basket cactus. So, excuse me. And then we have some Photonia right over here. We have some Dracaena, Spathiphyllum right over here. Those are all $15.98. A teddy bear vine right over here. Does anybody actually grow teddy bear vine? Because I am tempted to actually buy it. I've seen it a lot at Lowe's, and for $16.98, it's not a bad hanging basket. I just have to figure out whether I can hang hanging basket plants in my home, because I don't want to drill holes in my ceiling. I ended up ordering some like command strip type hooks that I can get from Amazon. So we'll see once they arrive tomorrow. And then right now we have another hanging basket by Costa Farms. This is an Epipremnum aureum pearls and jade. This one is for $19.98 as well. Love the variegation of pearls and jade. I prefer Epipremnum aureum enjoy though. That pothos has better like sectorial looking variegation, although the pearls and jade is a nice looking plant as well. We're looking at some ponytail palms right over here, and then this Dracaena that I absolutely love, that I am definitely going to buy one today. That is a Dracaena white aspen. We have some mini Ficus lyrata over there in the self-watering pot. We have some more Aglaonema right over here for $15.98. I want to know this plant ID for this Aglaonema. I love the white stems and just the silvery variegation it has as well. And then we have some bird's nest fern right over there for $15.98. And then this Hedra helix around the corner. We have some large majesty palm. And then we just have all of these plants that are merchandised well. I cannot commend this Lowe's enough to know that this Lowe's cares about its plants, and I can see why Costa Farms is sending a lot of its plants right over here. I'm sure this location sells a lot of plants just because every time I go here, they have fresh, healthy plants, and they have different plants. So absolutely love the look here. I want you guys just to see the massive collection of plants. I love the afternoon light hitting the plants as well. I think the video doesn't do justice of what I'm actually seeing in person. But for all of the plant foley / viewers that watch my plant videos that live through my plant shopping tours vicariously, I hope this is giving you all sorts of planty vibes and making you happy. Just because I want to provide daily content, I just feel like I may miss like a day or two and may not be able to produce like 2 videos, but I'm working on making sure that the quality and commentary is good for you to where you guys are entertained. I mean, I'm really surprised that you guys are listening to me ramble about plants, but I love just sharing you my thoughts and all of that. But as you can see, this plant shopping tour is about to come to an end. I ended up getting an Aglaonema white margin, a Dracaena white aspen, and some unknown Aglaonema that I want one of you guys to let me know in the comments what it is. And you can see there's just an overflow of plants over at this Lowe's, that they have another fixture here for some trending tropicals, Aglaonema pink siam. I love this. This is one of my favorite Aglaonemas as well because of the pink stems and the pink lining on the leaves. These are for $14.98 on sale. We have some Rhaphidophora hyi right here for $14.98 as well. They used to be $19.98. They probably are like putting some of these plants on sale because there's such an overflow. And then we have some more calathea right over here, some calathea medallion. But as I said again, really appreciate all the support of you plantees coming to my channel. And I will definitely be doing a lot more content for you. So I will end this video saying thanks again. Please leave comments and I will see you on the next video. Bye.